24 Bizarre Natural and Unexplained Phenomena. It's literally impossible to understand and explain each and every natural occurrence that takes place around the world, and just when we think we have some answers, a new idea or theory comes into play, throwing our original theory out the window. Today we have a look at some bizarre and inexplicable natural phenomena that have occurred around the globe. Number 24. Most confusing. You'd think after extensive research we'd have an answer to this mystery by now. Why do cats purr? A cat's purr is ranked as one of the most mysterious sounds in the entire animal kingdom. There's debate about not only how cats make that sound, but also why. Cats purr when they're being loved or petted, but also while eating or even giving birth. Some believe it to be self-soothing, although it's not 100% certain. Number 23. Math Whiz. People are generally born with a knack to grasp mathematics, and it doesn't just happen overnight, except in the case of Jason Paget, who became a math genius overnight. Now, we know you're wondering why that doesn't happen to the likes of us, but it didn't happen under great circumstances. Paget was punched in the head by an attacker, and despite having no background in math or college education, he woke up as a math whiz. This bizarre phenomenon is called acquired Savant syndrome, which has only happened to around 40 people. Of those 40, some have woken up having a remarkable talent in math, art, or music. Number 22. Listen carefully. The Taos hum has long since plagued several residents and visitors to the small city of Taos, New Mexico. The noise is a low-frequency hum that has both puzzled and annoyed the people, yet the cause of the buzz is unknown. Around 2% of the population can hear it, with some blaming it on mass hysteria, or another more sinister secret. What makes the phenomenon even more strange is that each person has reported a different humming sound, suggesting the experience is subjective as opposed to objective. Number 21. Let's go sailing. Not on a beautiful blue ocean, but rather in the desert sands of Death Valley, USA. The sailing stones are a geological phenomenon where the rocks move from one point to another without human intervention. How is this possible? It seems like a combination of wind, smooth sand, and a little luck are all to blame. Number 20. Fire and ice. Fire whirls look a lot like they belong more in the depths of hell as opposed to right here on Earth. Also called fire devil or fire tornado, this bizarre natural phenomenon takes place when fire is combined with a certain air temperature and wind currents, creating a fire whirl that rises just like a tornado. You'll usually spot these when massive bushfires take place. Number 19. Eensy Weensy Spider. Perhaps you can handle one or two eensy-weensy spiders, but can you bear the thought of these millions of spiders that have made their shelters in the trees of Pakistan? When flooding took place back in 2010, the spiders needed a spot to survive, so they opted for the trees. The results are a spectacular vision of trees thick with sticky spider webs. Number 18. Flashback. Near the border of Syria and Israel is a place called Golan Heights, and it's there that a 3-year-old boy vividly told the story of how he became deceased in a previous life. The cause was an axe, and elders decided to indulge the boy and go and see where his remains lay. To their absolute amazement, they found exactly what the boy had described. They found the bones, and an axe, and the place where the axe made contact with the body. To this day, no one knows how this was even possible, as there was no way the toddler would have known about that skeleton. Number 17. Sixth sense. Intuition, a hunch, a feeling, or an inkling. Whatever word you use to describe it, intuition is something that is still hard to understand today. Yet, our sixth sense has often steered us away from trouble, or if we've ignored it to realize what a huge mistake we've made. This is a natural phenomenon that we will probably never fully understand. Number 16. Nature showing off. This intriguing-looking lake is known as the Spotted Lake, located in the eastern Similkameen Valley in British Columbia. This lake contains exceptionally high quantities of magnesium sulfate, calcium, and sodium sulfate. During the summer, a lot of the water evaporates, revealing colorful mineral deposits and large circles. It's really a magical place to visit in the summertime. Number 15. Been there, done that. We don't know his name, but there are reports of a 23-year-old student who has an extremely bizarre case of déjà vu. The student says that he is constantly swarmed with the sensation of having done things before, that he can hardly function and even had to drop his studies. Doctors are unable to explain this weird phenomenon, but psychology expert Dr. Christine Wells believes this could be the first case of psychogenic déjà vu, which could be triggered by anxiety or a neurological condition like dementia or epilepsy. Number 14. It's raining, it's pouring. But what exactly is it falling from the sky? Is it rain? No. Snow? No. Sleet? No. Hail? Nope. So if it's none of those things, then what can it be? Star jelly is the answer you were after, and this translucent, gelatinous material has been known to fall from the sky from time to time. Records of this bizarre jelly date back to the 14th century, and it evaporates soon after hitting the ground. Of course, speculation runs high as to what it actually is, from dying stars to the end result of an alien's bodily functions. Scientists have studied the substance, and some have concluded that it's frog ovum that has expanded due to exposure to water. How it fell from the sky, well, that's still open to debate. Number 13. Light my fire. Spontaneous human combustion is something that has baffled scientists for years, and last summer, a 20-year-old man managed to survive the horrific ordeal. The man was from Edmonton in Canada, and he had woken up to find that he was engulfed in flames. No foul play was suspected, and the source of the fire came from within him. He was treated for second-degree burns, and doctors said they'd never seen anything like it in their lives. Number 12. Fragile as a flower. These are not the types of flowers you can pick, but they are certainly beautiful to look at. They're called frost flowers, and they're usually found growing on sea ice and lakes. Number 11. It's raining cats and dogs. This 17th century expression didn't come about because cats and dogs were raining from the sky, but it was a rather unique way of saying that it was windy and super rainy. Many theories have been debunked as to where the expression began, but yet the truth still evades us. A bizarre weather phenomenon has been recorded several times over where certain animals have fallen from the sky, including frogs, fish, tadpoles, eels, spiders, worms, and we hate to say it, but snakes. Some believe waterspouts or tornadoes have caused this, however, it doesn't explain where the raw meat that fell from Kentucky's sky in 1876 came from, does it? Number 10. Sing me a song. How this research even came about is beyond us, but researchers from various universities in the US, UK, and Poland have all confirmed that different types of icebergs make different types of noises. They each have their own acoustic signature. They went off into the Arctic Ocean and placed microphones near the Hans Glacier and recorded the sounds they heard. They all heard the same sounds and believe it to be 100% genuine, but the why has yet to be answered. Number 9. Sundog. No, we are not about to share a new yoga pose with you. Sundog is the name given to these massive halos in the sky caused by refracting light. The light looks like it's encircling the sun with bright spots on either side of the halo. If they shine brightly enough, it looks like you're seeing 3 suns. This happens across the globe. You just have to be on the lookout for them. They're usually present when the sun is low in the sky. Number 8. Getting a bit old now. If you've had a near-death experience, you'll know it's a very frightening situation, and you'll often flash back to that day and think how fortunate you were to survive. The experience never really leaves you. Usually, we only have about one of those in our lifetime, but Beverly Gilmore, a 49-year-old lady, has experienced this over 1,000 times in the last 30 years. Doctors and scientists have spent years studying her, but have no logical explanation for her continuous exposure to these surreal situations and always pulling through. Some would say she has a great purpose to fulfill first, and it's just not her time. Number 7. Natural beauty. Finnish Lapland structures are these eerie-looking shapes that stick out from the frozen landscape like a sore thumb. They look like something from a science fiction movie as opposed to a natural occurrence on Earth. It gets so cold in this area that with the sub-zero condition, the snow and frost become so thick that they cover everything in this awkward-looking blanket. Easily explained for sure, but bizarre to look at nonetheless. Number 6. Not very hungry. We're sure many would hear this and think, we wish that would happen to us, but how awful, really. This mystery has happened in 12-year-old Landon Jones' life, where thanks to a strange condition, he is unable to feel hungry or thirsty. He woke up one morning not feeling well, went to the doctor, who confirmed he had a bacterial infection in his left lung. The infection healed, but since then his desire to eat or drink has dissipated. His parents have to constantly remind him to eat, otherwise he can go ages without taking anything of substance in. Number 5. Splashes of color. Zhangye Danxia Landform Geological Park in China, as well as several other spots throughout China, have this exquisitely unique Technicolor mountain formation. Over 24 million years, layers of different colored sandstone and minerals have compacted together, creating these multicolored mountains. It's like the paint palette for Earth, and each color is breathtaking. Number 4. Hair-raising tail. This bizarre natural phenomenon is known as Pele's hair lava, and it looks more like a bird's nest than hair. We totally agree. This crazy hair actually comes from Hawaii's Mount Kilauea, an active volcano. The wind picks up small droplets of lava and stretches them into these thin glass wires, some reaching up to 6 feet. In Hawaii, they call it Pele, but in Norway, where this also occurs, they call it witch's hair. Number 3. No explanation necessary. That's because there is none. In 2012, thousands of deceased fish washed ashore a stretch of beach in northern Norway, and as quickly as they came ashore, they disappeared. It's estimated that as much as 20 tons could have been on the beach, but before locals could begin counting, the fish disappeared. To this day, no explanation has been concluded. Number 2. The Eye of the Sahara. Formerly known as the Richtot structure, but the Eye of Sahara is much cooler. How did this 25-mile circular feature come to be in the Sahara? Scientists are still working at figuring out the answer, but they believe it to be the eroded remains of a giant dome of rock. The ring has different bands of rock surrounding it that all erode at different speeds. Apparently, astronauts see this formation as an almost home signal when returning from outer space. Number 1. Wouldn't you love to know? And for the ultimate, bizarre, unexplained phenomenon, this foamy, foul-smelling liquid emerged from a random street in China. No one could explain what it was, but a Reddit user said it was definitely the byproduct of blood and concentrated hydrogen peroxide. That report, however, has not been confirmed, so until then, happy guessing. Thank you guys so much for watching. Drop us a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe to our channel for more daily content.